Is this thing on?
Are you ready, Matt?
You're listening to Box Office Bingers
with Matt Diaz and Ernesto Santos.
Good evening, folks. We have a wonderful evening's entertainment lined up for you.
We know each other. He's a friend from work.
Box Office Bingers.
And the only way that I know how to do it is to find you a bloody good dump.
He's my friend. I don't have friends. I got family.
I can do this all day.
You know, if you put your mind to it, you can accomplish anything.
Hello and welcome to a special episode of Box Office Bingers. And you know that it's a special episode because if you're watching us on YouTube or on Spotify, we are wearing our bow tie t-shirts.
Oh.
And if we are wearing our bow tie t-shirts, you know that it's a special episode. And if you've been listening to us for the past month, you would know what we've been prepping for. And what we've been prepping for is this episode right here. And you know what this episode right here is because you clicked on it and it said the title, which is our Oscars 2026 predictions episode. And
Oscars 2026 predictions. We made it, y'all. Okay, that's it. I just wanted to do it one time. But yeah, we did it. We made it.
yeah. A pat on the back for ourselves. We, for the third year in a row, have watched every Oscar-nominated film. And I'm very happy that we get to do this every year. And we take a lot of hours. A lot of hours, a lot of time.
But I love it. I fucking love doing it. I actually do.
Yeah. I think to me, it's not, I feel like it's pretty much it's all for just this episode.
Yeah.
We do all this work for this episode in addition to actually caring about the Oscars, which is a big deal in cinema. And this is the award that everybody wants. And I think it's worth the time if it's there and we're big into, we're big cinema junkies, cinema files. It's I think this is worth it. And we're not the only ones. This is called the Oscars Death Race. And it is a death race to the finish line. And the goal is to watch every Oscar nominated film before the opening ceremonies. And we are recording this on Monday, March 9th. And the Oscars is on Sunday, March 15th. And so we will be watching them. And then next week, we'll be having our bonus episode, which will just be going over the ceremony and the winners. But in this episode, we're going to take all that information, all those hours watched, and we're going to be talking about a good conversation, good, honest, earned predictions on who we think will win the 98th Academy Award.
Yeah, anything's better than the first year. Like, it's like, let's look at this category. It's like, well, I've watched 2 of these, so maybe that one.
I think we wanted to be where we are now, but it took us a couple years to get there.
Well, really, this is a testament to you. And like, I help too, but you do 99% of the work related to finding the Oscars content. It's really, I really appreciate it because it just makes life a lot easier. Like, cause you like, look, this is going to be airing on this day. This is going to be available then. This will be available then. And then you're scouring the internet. It's like a scavenger hunt. Like, you're like, where can I find this? Where can I find the thing?
Yes. Yeah. It's a very big internet scavenger hunt. And I have to thank Reddit for all of our discoveries and Andre. You know who you are, Andre. You don't know me and I don't know you, but you know who you are, and you helped us out toward the end here.
You're a real one. Okay.
Shouts out to Andre.
Yeah, exactly.
But yes, after, I mean, this one was honestly, out of all the years, this was the easiest and also the cleanest. And by cleanest, I mean, like, I feel like we didn't run into any hiccups. I wasn't searching too hard. Things were available more so than they have been in the past. Some things were a little bit more difficult to find, but then eventually they became, available to us. And then we were watching it and it just also so happened to align to our prefixed recording schedule of when we want to talk about those things. Like when we talked about the documentaries, it was like, I don't know if we're gonna get this one in time for this episode, but we're definitely gonna try to get it in before the predictions episode. And I was like, oh, there it is. We're fine. We're good.
Yeah, we got them all. Yeah, it was great. And also, this has been the most coordinated, like as far as our coverage leading up to the Oscars, because we still did. I think we were still doing normal shows, like we would just cover whatever random movie is. But then like pretty much since the nominations dropped, we've been in straight Oscar coverage.
Yeah,
until
it's very. Yeah, we stuck with the what you watchings. We kind of put the entertainment news aside for a little bit, and trust us, we know what's going on.
Yeah.
We're just not talking about it in these last few episodes because I feel like we're doing the work. So I feel like it's important just to keep these episodes consolidated to what we've been watching, of course, just to mix it up a little bit, and then the bulk of the episode is primarily focusing on the nominations for the Academy.
Yeah,
Um,
100%.
and yeah, and I think it's working well for us. I think, like you said, this is the most organized we've been since we've been starting our Oscars coverage throughout the years. And I really like how we did it this year. It was very like you can go to each episode and it's very category focused. We picked a few categories and the ones we haven't done already, and we didn't really repeat ourselves. The ones that we've made full like reviews on and were in previous episodes, which Ernesto created a playlist on our YouTube channel that you can find all of those episodes that have anything Oscar related on it. It's there throughout the whole year. And yeah. And so now we're going in, and then there's a few films we have not talked about yet that we'll be talking about in those respective categories when we start our predictions episode.
There's a few I can't wait to talk to you about, Matthew.
I know. So we'll be diving into those as well. But yeah, I mean, for the most part, we've had a pretty easy run this year, and and I think maybe because it was organized as well. But yeah, I feel more prepared, and also I feel like we've talked about it and gave each film some time to breathe and sit with and have a proper conversation as long as you wanted to in these episodes. So yeah, I feel so ready for this.
Yeah, I can't wait till Sunday.
Seriously. But before we dive into our 2026 Oscars predictions, I want to go over the lay of the land and quickly go over some of the winners of our other award shows. And let me tell you, we're going down every guild this year. Like these are just the headlines. These are the big ones that you're seeing on your screen right now. Again, if you're watching us on YouTube and Spotify. But so we're gonna be talking about the big ones, but I also found that there's a whole bunch of other guilds out there that also have their award show in these individual categories. And this is important because these are like the smaller awards that kind of define and have help paint a picture to what the Oscars might be awarding the big awards to based off some of these guilds as well. And so the first one we're going to talk about is like I think was one of the first major awards. I think the critics was first, but we're going to start with the Golden Globes. And so in the drama categories, Best Picture went to Hamnet, Best Actor went to Wagner Moura in The Secret Agent, and Best Actress went to Jessie Buckley in Hamnet. For the comedy and musical categories, Best Picture went to One Battle After Another, Best Actor went to Timothy Chalamet for Marty Supreme, and Best Actress went to Rose Byrne in If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You. For Best Director went to Paul Thomas Anderson in One Battle After Another. Supporting Actor went to Stellan Skarsgård in Sentimental Value. Best Supporting Actress went to Tiana Taylor in One Battle After Another. Best Animated Film went to K-Pop Demon Hunters. Best Picture Non-English Language went to The Secret Agent. Best Screenplay, One Battle After Another. Best Original Score, Sinners. Best Original Song, K-Pop Demon Hunters for Golden. And Best Cinematic and Box Office Achievement went to Sinners. And we're going to be repeating a lot of winners here because they have been winning, but there's some other ones that is just really interesting to see as we kind of dive into the other award shows, what the trends are.
Yeah.
Of like who is winning what, and then also which one is like it's anyone's game when we get to the Oscar nominations, because there are a certain category where we're like one person has at least won one of these awards, and you're like, I don't know which one's the favorite. So I mean, that would be interesting when we get there.
There's definitely some heavy hitters. But when we look at the Critics' Choice Awards winners, we have Best Picture, we have One Battle After Another. Best Director, Paul Thomas Anderson for One Battle After Another. Best Actor, Timothy Chalamet for Marty Supreme. Best Actress, Jessie Buckley for Hamnet. Best Supporting Actor, Jacob Elordi for Frankenstein. Best Supporting Actress, Amy Madigan for Weapons. Best Acting Ensemble, Sinners. Best Animated Film, K-Pop Demon Hunters. Best Foreign Language Film, The Secret Agent, which is interesting because like Critics' Choice calls it, you know, foreign film, and then you have Golden Globe that's like Best Picture non-English language. It's like, okay.
It's the same thing. And then the Oscars call it the international feature.
Yeah, which is what it should be called. I mean, that kind of encompasses both of those things.
Yes.
Anyway, I digress. Best Comedy, Naked Gun. Best Original Screenplay, Sinners. Best Adapted Screenplay, One Battle After Another. Best Cinematography, Train Dreams. Best Editing, F1. Visual Effects, Avatar Fire and Ash. Original Score, Sinners. Best Original Song, K-Pop Demon Hunters for Golden. Best Production Design, Frankenstein. Best Costume Design, Frankenstein. And Best Hair and Makeup, Frankenstein. So it's kind of interesting. Frankenstein kind of sweep there.
Yes. And those last few technical awards, which we'll be also getting into when we get to the predictions, but it's worth noting as well. I should have changed the name. It's the Actors Awards presented by SAG-AFTRA.
Oh God.
It's no longer the Screen Actors Guild Awards. They had a whole promo about how they're changing the name. It was kind of funny with Kristen Bell. But regardless, best performance by a cast in motion picture went to Sinners. Best actor went to Michael B. Jordan in Sinners. Best actress went to Jessie Buckley in Hamnet. Best supporting actor is Sean Penn in One Battle After Another. Best supporting actress was Amy Madigan in Weapons. And best stunt ensemble was Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning. There are going to be some awards that we're talking about just encompassing all of the film categories in those award shows. But like, it'll be interesting to see, like, Mission Impossible is always crazy with the stunts. Unfortunately, is 1 year too late to be nominated for any stunt categories. They'll be recognized in the 2029 sorry 2027 or 2028 award.
I think it's 28. That'll be the next Mission Impossible movie. It'll be Mission Impossible: The Actual Final Reckoning.
It's once they saw that they're eligible for an Oscar, it's like, guys, we gotta do one more.
Come on, Tom. Wait, what? You got one more crazy stunt. It's like, this is gonna be the one.
Come on, Cruz. Yeah, I know you got this.
He's crazy. One thing I will note is that we've been seeing Timothy Chalamet been picking up Best Actor, but then now, especially with the SAG Awards, just recent, especially these awards just being just recently, it's interesting to note that now that's shifting to Michael B. Jordan, which when we get into it, there's obviously a lot to be said about his performance as both roles. I mean, let's not forget that he's playing two different roles in that movie.
Yeah. I think you're right. It's very worth noting that, because even for the supporting actor awards, we went through the Golden Globes, the Critics' Choice, and the Actors Awards, all different supporting actors who were winning those awards. And we're not the same for supporting actress, but there are, you can see that there's no clear front runner for some of these categories. Now, Jessie Buckley, on the other hand, she's won all of them. So like, clearly she is a front runner for her category. But I just find it really interesting that they like the trends that we're seeing with all these different award shows. Go ahead, sorry.
So then moving over to the Producers Guild Award winners: Outstanding Producer of a Theatrical Motion Pictures, One Battle After Another. Outstanding Producer of Animated Theatrical Motion Pictures, K-Pop Demon Hunters. Outstanding Producer of Documentary Motion Picture, My Mom Jane.
For Directors Guild Award winners, we have Outstanding Directorial Achievement in a Theatrical Feature Film as Paul Thomas Anderson in One Battle After Another. Outstanding Directorial Achievement in First Time Feature Film is Charlie Hollinger for a movie called The Plague, which was an indie film that came out, I believe, earlier last year. And Outstanding Directorial Achievement in Documentary is Mislav Chernov for 2,000 Meters in Andrivika. I probably pronounced some of those wrong.
2,000 meters to Andrivika, unless there's a different. Um, pronunciation on the double I.
Yeah, I'm not too sure there. What's interesting about some of these director well, actually read the next one, then I'll say what I said.
All right, so Writers Guild Award winners: Best Original Screenplay, Sinners; Best Adapted Screenplay, One Battle After Another; Best Documentary Screenplay goes to 2,000 Meters to Andrivica.
So what I find interesting about that is that we've listed three different documentary like winners, like as far as like three different award shows, three different categories for documentary. Not one of them are even the ones that we're talking about today.
Yeah, yeah, not even mentioned at the Oscars.
No, which I find really interesting that other award shows are nominating other documentaries and those are winning, and we don't even have an inkling of idea what the other award shows are just nominating and awarding other films that are not any of the Oscars saw. So I thought that was really interesting to note.
Yeah,
Um,
you actually just reminded me because there's also in when we talk about so we have the like Diane Warren for original song like
yeah,
and we'll talk about it when we get to that section, but like why wasn't that documentary nominated? Like I like
yeah,
just briefly talking about it, like it was great. Like it was a
mhm.
great documentary. It's just interesting that like I saw other things, I'm like, why wasn't this nominated in the in the category it should be in? You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. I hear you. I hear you. Let's see. The Annie Awards, which is the animation awards, best feature went to K-pop Demon Hunters, and best feature independent went to Arco.
Mm.
And I'll get the next one too. American Society of Cinematography, or otherwise known as the ASC Awards. The theatrical feature film went to One Battle After Another, and documentary award again went to 2,000 Meters of Androvica. So that documentary is sweeping.
I know, and we haven't even heard of it before. Like,
Never heard of it before.
so we have the Visual Effects Society Awards, the VES, Outstanding Visual Effects in Photo Real Feature, Avatar Fire and Ash, Avatar Fire and Ash, Supporting Visual Effects in Photo Real Feature, Sinners, Animated Feature, K-pop Demon Hunters.
What I find interesting is that after looking at different guilds, you can see the kind of fine tuning of words
Yeah.
that they get, because the Oscars just encompassing visual effects. But when you go down to each guild, what they really are looking for and what they're kind of highlighting, I thought that supporting visual effects as a category, I thought that was interesting, rather than like the overall encompassing of the visual effects.
Well,
And you'll see that closer down with some of the other awards as well.
I think that it makes sense because you think of a photo real feature, Fire and Ash. I mean, the technology that had to be created for that film, like it makes sense why it would have won that award. And if for Sinners, it is more supporting. You know, the
Yeah.
fire, the like, just what enhancing. It was more of enhancing what was already there, as opposed to Fire and Ash, where it literally was replacing what was there.
Yeah, yeah, that's for sure. Um, the American Cinema Editors, otherwise known as the Eddie Awards, which is the ACE Eddie Awards. Best Edited Feature Film for Drama went to Sinners. Best Edited Feature Film Comedy went to One Battle After Another. I find that interesting that they have a distinction between editing for a drama and editing for a comedy.
I think that
And
makes
Best
sense.
Edited Animated Feature for K-pop Demon Hunters. Best Edited Documentary Feature went to The Perfect Neighbor, which
course.
makes a lot of sense. And Best Edited Short went to All the Empty Rooms.
Yes, which we reviewed, and with the as far as the editing, I can see that because I think the skill it requires for each of these projects is not the same. So it's
Right.
so
Yeah.
it's understandably why they would, especially when you're just looking at the editor awards, why you would just be looking while you have the time to kind of separate each award.
Yeah. I 100% get it. And again, it happens again here.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So moving to the Costume Designers Guild Awards, excellence in contemporary film, One Battle After Another. Excellence in a period film is Frankenstein. Excellence in sci-fi fantasy went to Wicked for Good. Excellence in costume illustrations with Sinners went to Sinners. So I think here's another good example of great costume design, but separated, understanding exactly why it was nominated.
Yeah, exactly. And I feel like it's really funny that now that they're kind of separating, like well, this is for a period film. This is for a contemporary film. But yet, how do you judge that as a whole? Like, all right, like yeah, these films are different, and we'll go to those nominations. So those are completely different films. But which one did it better,
Mm.
even though they're completely different genres? And I find it interesting that the costumes specifically separated by genres.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Um, Motion Picture Sound Editors Golden Reel Awards. Outstanding achievement in sound editing for feature animation went to Zootopia 2. For feature documentary went to Deaf President Now. Uh, Feature International, which went to Surat, which I can understand. Um, Feature Dialogue slash ADR went to Sinners. Feature Effects and Foley went to Frankenstein. And feature music editing went to Sinners again. I find it interesting that it's kind of like a well, I guess they're kind of different, but no, never mind, never mind. Forgot what I was gonna say. But yeah, I like again, it's kind of interesting to see the separation between like different fine tuning in these categories.
Yeah, and then once you see it, you're like, oh, okay, I can see that. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Especially Sinners for music editing, or like
Yes.
learning what Ludwig Göransson had to do to construct that scene, and like how so much of a group effort between like the choreography and the music. Like if one part they needed more music, he would just kind of like adjust it. He would adjust it for that scene. So like that song "I Lied to You" was just such a collaborative effort for in music and sound editing.
Yeah, yeah, 100%.
So moving to the Cinema Audio Society Awards, Motion Picture Live Action went to F1. Motion Picture Animated went to K-Pop Demon Hunters. Motion Picture Documentary went to Becoming Led Zeppelin.
Yeah, and that's more for sound mixing and sound editing, which used to be two different categories at the Oscars
Mhm.
until it eventually just became sound,
Mhm.
just best sound.
Yeah.
But they used to separate between editing and mixing. So, but obviously they're two separate guilds, which I find also very interesting. Best now moving on to the Makeup Artist and Hairstyles Guild Awards. We have Best Contemporary Makeup for One Battle After Another. Best Period and or Character Makeup went to Sinners. Best Special Makeup Prosthetics went to Frankenstein. Best Contemporary Hairstylings went to One Battle After Another. And Best Period and or Character Hair Styling went to Sinners.
Yeah. Interesting. Contemporary is like, you did good at making them look like today. That's basically what that means.
It looks like that's how you would look today.
Yep, that's right. That's 2026. You
That's
nailed
how
it.
you did it. You did it. I don't even know if that's 2026. Like, no, I don't think it is.
No, I think that's 20. I guess was it late 24, early 25?
maybe. Yeah. Well, you mean what? Sorry, the movie came out. It came out in 2025. I don't know I don't know when the movie takes place. However,
See, I thought it was leading up to like current. Like I think it starts a couple years back and then moves to like that world's present day. Very similar to ours. Does that make sense?
yeah.
Um, all right, so moving on to Art Directors Guild, the Production Design Awards for period feature film went to Frankenstein. Fantasy feature film went to Fantastic Four: First Steps.
Hey,
Contemporary feature film went to One Battle After Another. Animated feature film, K-Pop Demon Hunters.
yep. And the last one we're going to be going over is Casting Society's Art Tours Awards. So big budget feature drama went to Sinners. Big budget feature comedy went to Jay Kelly. Animated feature went to Zootopia. Studio or independent feature drama went to Sentimental Value. Studio or independent feature comedy went to Rental Family. Feature international went to The Fisherman. And feature low budget comedy or drama went to Sorry Baby. I find it interesting when it comes to casting because that is a new category this year at the Oscars. And when I see like best casting for a movie, and I'm surprised the obvious choice would have been One Battle After Another. It's been sweeping every other award, but going to Jay Kelly, yeah, it kind of makes sense. Or even like the K-pop Demon Hunters is like, yeah, that has also been sweeping. But as far as a casting perspective, they got a stacked cast for Zootopia too, and you also got a stacked cast for Jay Kelly. So I can understand those winning over the more traditional ones we've been listing off this entire time.
Yeah, I think it's interesting that we have all these different awards because it does kind of point to like the little minutia things that make the film great as a whole, like having a great cast, certain parts of the
Yeah.
sound mixing, making sure the like understanding what Foley is like. And for those who don't know, Foley is like it's like sound effects, like walking in snow and shit, and like opening a doorknob and all that.
Yeah, but they have to recreate it in unconventional ways because
Correct.
you opening a doorknob, there's not going to go to a doorknob and just put a microphone and you opening it. It has different ways that, yeah, what naturally makes sense to the eye does not make sense to the ear.
Correct.
So they have to create new ways for them to make it sound like you're opening a door or creaking or whatever the case is. Using like like empty water bottles for bone cracking and stuff like that, or
Yes.
sizzling bacon or stuff like that. It's just all these random tools at their disposal to make these unique sounds, and all goes into the filmmaking process.
Yeah, it's an interesting art.
Yes, it really is. But there you go. That is all of the kind of awards, other awards aside from the Oscars. And again, given the lay of the land, and we're going to be referring back to these other awards to kind of help us guide what the other guilds were thinking, what the Oscars may be thinking, and who's going to come out with the big award. So, without further ado, we are now going to start our 2026 Oscars predictions. This time starts right now. About time.
It's about time. Yay!
Yay.
Um,
We are 50. There were 50 films nominated at the Academy Awards this year, and we have watched all 50, and we're about to go over them right now to give the most educated guess
yes.
on who we think will win and who we think should win. So when we have these discussions, we're going to have two different like outcomes. We're going to go over again. We're going to talk about which ones. We're going to go over and see which one we think should win, and which is basically our personal opinion, and which one we think will win. And sometimes they'll line up, and sometimes they won't. But
yes.
that's the fun of the game.
So we didn't add it on here, and I forgot to ask, when do you want to do casting?
It should be on there.
Is it?
Yeah, I think so. Oh, it's not.
It's
you
not,
know what?
It's not on there, Matthew.
You're right.
Yeah, trust me, I know. How about we start with it just to get this shit over with.
Just to get it out of the way.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, you're right, because it wasn't part of the.
So sorry, guys. Matthew made us not prepared. He's literally the worst.
This is what happens when you copy and paste the rundown from last year.
Not an excuse. You were so excited to be prepared, and you failed me, Matthew. All right. I knew
you're a dumbass.
He's an idiot. Moving on. Just kidding.
Moving on. Why the hell not? Let's start with casting, shall we?
Go ahead.
All right. Nominees for casting. We have Hamnet, Marty Supreme, One Battle After Another, The Secret Agent, and Sinners.
Ooh. So I'm torn between two. I'm torn between Sinners and One Battle After Another.
Yeah, it's to your point, yes. And the reason why that I feel like I'm also torn between those two is because when you think of Hamnet, well, actually, we'll start from The Secret Agent and Marty Supreme. When I think of those two movies, I think of a single actor.
Correct. Yes, exactly.
I think of Marty Supreme is Timothée Chalamet. The Secret Agent is Wagner Moura. And there are other great supporting actors around that main character, but the movie is about the main character.
Yeah.
And yes, we have Odessa Ozorn, who was a great supporting role in the movie. And there's also Kevin O'Leary's iconic role in the movie as well. But those are like not as memorable as, say, Sinners, who has a very stacked main and supporting cast. Like those are very memorable people, characters, as well as One Battle After Another with Sean Penn, Tiana Taylor, Leonardo DiCaprio, Benicio del Toro. Yep. Like it's all there. And the same argument goes for Hamnet, where again, there's really only two people and primarily only one person.
Yep.
like, yes, Paul Mescal is in the movie as a supporting character, and he's also there a lot. However, it's Jesse Buckley's movie.
100%.
So
Her and the little boy. I would say the little boy who played him too. I would say that he, like, I mean, he was fantastic. He was fantastic too.
Yeah.
But I hear what you're saying. I mean, you look at Sinners. You have obviously you have Michael B. Jordan playing two roles. You have Delroy Lindo, and then you also have she's for Wunmi Mosaku. Like she was fantastic in that movie. So you just collectively, when I think casting, I think the entire ensemble and how they got them to meld together, like understanding picking the right people as a whole, not just individually.
100%. And I think we're gonna have this. We're gonna have this back and forth a lot, Ernesto. I just have a feeling.
Yeah.
This year, it's going to Sinners or One Battle After Another. These are the two front runners for almost every category.
Yep.
They have been dominating, as you've heard, in the award season, and they continue to do so now. So my pick, and just because I think it was a better, well-rounded cast, goes to Sinners.
Yeah, I agree. I'm with you on that one.
So I think it will win. I think it should win. I think it should win. I think it will win. However, again, as a second front runner, or like someone that can steal it from it, will be One Battle After Another. The argument's the same for there as well.
You know, and I feel this year we have a good problem where we have a lot of great films that are up against each other.
Yes. And also, I think it's also worth noting that when we go back to the Casting Society's Artours Award, it won for best. Sinners won for best. Sinners won for big budget featured drama in the casting category. And I also believe it's worth noting, going back to the Actors Awards, that best performance by cast went to Sinners as well.
Yeah.
So I think overall, like, I think the full cast was a very strong cast. And also Miles Canton, who was also a young actor in that movie as well, as memorable as Michael B. Jordan. And Haley Steinfeld.
Yeah, that's right.
Also
that's right.
as iconic in that movie. So I feel like it's just a little bit more stacked than One Battle After Another.
I agree 100%.
So going with Sinners.
Going with Sinners. That's what's winning. All right, let's move to animated short film. We have Butterfly, Forever Green, The Girl Who Cried Pearls, Retirement Plan, and Matt's favorite, The Three Sisters.
I'll tell you which one is not going to win. I'll tell you which one I'm not picking. Those sisters got to go, Ernesto. They're gone. No Three Sisters. They're over there. They're in the sidelines. They're not even in this conversation right now.
I knew you were going to say that.
This one's interesting. This one's an interesting category because, I mean, overall, I think they were all fine.
Yeah, they're all good. To me, even like now that we've seen them and I've kind of sat with them for a while, when I think back, which is the most memorable, there's a clear front runner.
Which one is it for you?
For me, it's Forever Green.
Yeah, I think so too. It's weird because in years past, this is now we've been doing the Oscars coverage for quite some time, but we really been going deep dive into it for the last 3 years. And we've been noticing a trend with the animated shorts, and it's pretty much the prettiest looking one. It typically wins. The one that has like maybe not the most polished animation, but pretty much it's the most polished animation.
There's always a pretty one. There's a weird animation one. There's usually a claymation one or like a puppetry one. And then there's usually like a sad story one that a sad story that something happened to them or something about what's wrong about what's happening in the world.
Yeah, and I think that one particularly is Butterfly.
Yeah.
I think that's the one that's like the very more serious one, has more of a message, has something to say type of deal. Retirement Plan was just like it's like a very chill one.
It was very reflective. It was a very reflective short.
Yeah, The Three Sisters, I don't know what the fuck's going on with that.
It was fucking random.
It was random. So to me, here's where it comes down. Forever Green had the better animation.
Yeah.
Well, I think The Girl Who Cried Pearls had the better story.
Yeah. I knew you were going to say that.
Yeah. I love that
I
story.
know you did.
It looked weird, but I liked it.
Well, Matt, as we're going to talk about later, I know that you love weird.
If it's a good weird, if it makes sense. There's also some weird I don't like.
Oh, but there's some weird that you fucking like that I don't like. But it's okay. That's why I love you, because you just come from a different perspective than me.
That's right. Yes, I do.
Yes, I do.
Yes, I do. I think my personal choice would be the girl who cried pearls. That's me personally. But however, I think what will win is Forever Green.
Yeah, I'm double downing on Forever Green. It will win, and it should win. I like the girl who liked pearls, girl who cried pearls, but it was weird. The animation was a little. The animation was a little weird, but I get it. It was a good story. It was a good story. You're absolutely right.
Yeah, I think I'm like tied between who I think should win, because I think for Forever Green and the girl who cried pearls kind of sit both in the should, but given the edge to Forever Green, I'll be shocked if it's the other ones.
Yeah, if it goes to anything but those two, I'll be very shocked.
Yes,
I will be shocked if it goes to the girl who cried pearls. I will actually be shocked if it does, but we'll see.
Which is funny, because I feel like notoriously they don't go for the claymation ones.
Yeah.
In years past, so that's why I feel like just in a process of elimination, it's gonna go to Forever Green, and it was a cute story.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So, all right, we're going for Forever Green.
All right.
Moving on to nominees for live action short film, we have Butcher Stain, A Friend of Dorothy's, Jane Austen's period drama, The Singers, and Two People Exchanging Saliva.
I'm actually torn. I'm actually torn between two. I'm torn between.
Okay, but before we get to those two, which ones are we getting off the board?
Immediately off the board, you already know. It's Two People Exchanging Saliva. It was a weird story, but it was just fucking strange. I left that short having so many more questions. I was like, I have like nothing about this world was explained to me. Like this, I don't understand.
I think it was weird, but it had a message. This is the one that had like a message, but it was really weird, like mixing between the two. To me, off the board is Singers. I didn't get it.
Oh yeah, that I agree. I mean that one was like, that's the one they were singing in the bar, right?
That's it.
Yeah, that's it. The one that Netflix immediately grabbed.
You're right. Yeah, I was like, "Are you sure?"
It's like,
did you reach out too fast?
It's like, hey, whoa, pull that hair back real quick.
They're like, they grabbed it, like, damn, we got the wrong one.
Because to me, I think Butcher Stain, A Friend of Dorothy, and A Butcher Stain were the best stories. I think they were just the most well constructed. Like, I could have easily watched a full length feature of both of those shorts and more or less enjoyed them. The short I thought was so entertaining. I thought it had a very clear message it was getting across, and it did like very effectively. I felt like it was just very effective of getting its narrative across and what it wanted to translate to the audience. And I think A Friend of Dorothy was just like this beautiful story of like unconventional friendship. Yeah.
And I'll even give praise to Jane Austen's period drama.
Yeah, it was funny.
It was very witty. I think this felt like a really good SNL sketch, but I'm saying that in the best way possible.
No, yeah.
It was really funny. And I think like if this was part of like a small bit in a televised version of this, I think that would fit like really well into that. So I give it credit. There is a world that I think the Academy can be one way and go for it, but to your point, it's really down to Butcher Stain and A Friend of Dorothy for me. And if I'm going to give any edge, and this is for me out of relatability and maybe feeling, you probably feel for more for one than the other, I would give the edge to A Friend of Dorothy.
Yeah. I agree with you. I think it's as far as like rewatchability and just like entertainment value, I think A Friend of Dorothy is just there. It's just there a little bit more than Butcher Stain, but Butcher Stain is a very, very close second for me.
Yes. Yeah, I agree with you there. So like for me, those are the top two. I'm giving the edge to A Friend of Dorothy.
Yeah, same. All right, so now we are moving. Hold on, let me write this down. We are moving to documentary short film. So in this category, we have All the Empty Rooms, Armed with Only a Camera, The Life and Death of Brett Renaud, Children No More, We Were and Are Gone, The Devil is Busy, Perfectly Estrangedness. I can
All
tell
right,
you which
well,
one. I can tell you which one I'm immediately taking off the board, and
yeah,
that's Perfectly
yeah,
a Strangeness.
yeah. That one, we followed a donkey. That's not a documentary.
Yeah, it's
That's
not.
it's not it's not. It's that you followed a donkey, presumably inside of an abandoned uh this like what science center, astrology. Like, I don't
Like
know. I think they're making the idea that these random donkeys were strolling into like this abandoned place, but clearly they're being followed by a camera crew, and the thing was freaking moving. Like the machine to look at the stars was moving. So like I'm not buying it for a second. Like I don't know what it felt more like a short, like a live action short than it
yes.
did a documentary. And I think because it's in the documentary section, it annoys me even more because it just doesn't make any sense. So that one, if that one wins, I think I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, it's like,
Uh
oh, we did this documentary. We were doing a documentary about the mountains. And so we saw this observatory, like, oh shit, the door's open. Let's open the doors and see. Oh, look, the donkeys went inside. That's it. That's our fucking documentary.
that's forget the mountains. We got a new subject, the donkeys.
The donkeys.
Yeah, that one was pointless in my opinion. And if I was gonna get another one off the board, because a lot of these were heavy hitters. A
Oh,
lot of these were
oh
heavy
yeah.
hitters. My God. If and this is like just because I don't feel like it packed the same punch as the other three, I would say Armed with a Camera,
Mm,
I would probably take off the board. Just because I emotionally it didn't hit as hard and the message wasn't as strong as the other three.
yeah, it was
Up there.
still a very sad story that
Yes.
what they captured. I think it was
I
still
mean, they're all
very.
sad.
I mean, yeah, they all are. I mean, even besides obviously Perfectly a Strangeness, it was just.
Yeah, that one's off the board already.
I'm sorry. It's no longer. It's not up for consideration anymore.
Absolutely not. Not in my book.
But to me, and the rest are very good. But to me, the front runner is All the Empty Rooms. Although what I think is going to win is The Devil Is Busy.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay. I'm gonna double down on All the Empty Rooms. That one is just I think visually, because I mean we are in like obviously this is a visual medium, but I think more importantly, like visually seeing and holding and kind of giving space to those empty rooms of the children who were, who died during school shootings. That is just tragic. And seeing those rooms untouched, like I think that message without even there wasn't that much dialogue in it. It
true.
was just there. And you felt the energy of what was there before. And I think that was just really powerful for me of that message to get across.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you on that one. I think I'll put it this way: I will also double down on All the Empty Rooms, but I will not be surprised if The Devil Is Busy wins.
Yeah, the Devil Is Busy is very timely. It's
Yeah.
it's also very like and the Oscars go that direction as well, like of the times. Children No More Were and Are Gone are also like these are the issues that we're having like right now.
That's true.
Of like and so like all of these are very topical scenarios. And I feel like honestly, between those three have an equal chance of winning. I think they all probably should win for the message that they're putting across. I just think that All the Empty Rooms just have a slight edge
Yeah,
over the rest.
I think its messaging was so effective with the little amount of time that it put out, because I think it's like only 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And there's just a few interviews, but it was just so effective. Their coverage was just so effective.
Yeah.
It
And
really,
The
to
Devil
me, it
Is
just
Busy,
really hit home.
it really did hit home. Literally. And I think with The Devil Is Busy, I think that was a very well constructed, like introspective of the day of the life of the security,
Yep.
this person working security at a abortion clinic.
Yes.
And like all the struggles they have to deal with day in, day out. And that was like also a tough watch, but like again, the message is there. You feel the struggle, you feel the pain, you feel the everything that goes on day to day in that. Another effective documentary. And then Children No More Were and Are Gone, like silent protesting is
Yeah.
so powerful.
Yep.
And I think they also got their message across. But I'm gonna like I think out of those three, I think all three of them should win. Like
Yeah.
they do a really good job. of their presenting their message. However, I think again, all the empty rooms, I think will win.
Yeah, totally agree. All right.
All right, moving on to nominees for visual effects, we have Avatar: Fire and Ash, F1, Jurassic World Rebirth, The Lost Bus, and Sinners. So before we dive into our predictions, let's quickly talk about The Lost Bus. We have not talked about this movie yet, and we have both have seen it. I've seen it a while ago, and you were watching it for the Oscars. But what were your thoughts on the film?
Let me get my notes. I actually thought it was a really good movie. I mean, I could see why the it was nominated for visual effects. The fire visual effects were really good. Um, I mean, it was overall it was a great film. Matthew McConaughey, America Ferrera, kind of showcasing what they went through, kind of going through the California wildfires. Like
Hmm.
it was like a very exciting film, but like the fire visual effects were very prominent, and I think that they were just really they didn't seem fake. I guess that's just the best way
Yeah.
to put it.
Yeah, and I think as much as like a main character as was Matthew McConaughey and America Ferrera, that the fires was definitely a prominent character
Hmm.
in the movie, and I can understand why the nomination was there. To me, it was kind of a surprise nomination. I wasn't expecting it to win visual effects, or not. Sorry, not win, but get nominated for visual effects. It wasn't even a movie I thought about, but I guess the best visual effects are ones you're not thinking about. And I think that's just testament to that movie.
True.
But yeah, overall, I thought the movie was good. I thought it
Solid.
was nothing like to me. I didn't see like anything over the top, like something that the most memorable. But I think the movie was effective regardless, and it was a nice story surrounding it.
Yeah.
Um, but I think as far as the nominations are concerned, I find it interesting that even going deep dive into the visual effects, what do they call it? The Eddie Award. Nope. Is that the Eddie Awards? No. Where'd you go? Oh, the Visual Effects Society Awards.
Hmm.
Um, and I think they made an interesting point of like supporting visuals and then the main visuals.
Hmm.
And after I was thinking about that, it's like in a way, The Lost Bus was the visual effects was a main feature, but it was also supporting the movie as well.
Yes.
But primarily, very much like Sinners, and I believe F1 as well. I feel like the visual effects were supporting the movie, but a lot of other factors at play were obviously real, tangible things. But the visual effects help give that extra push to give that movie magic.
Yeah. Well,
Um,
what I think is different for Sinners is the technology they used to create Michael B. Jordan, like as a
mhm.
as a
Oh, that's
separate
fair.
character. And I mean, I think I remember reading they had to put like this 360 rig on his head or something. And also like the visual effects for like the fire, for the when they lit that sound stage on
Mhm.
fire for that scene in the middle of the film, like making the vampires look realistic. So like to me in this category, it's really a toss up between Avatar, Fire and Ash and Sinners, with a slight edge going to Sinners. Like
Yeah, and then
I think Sinners is gonna do like a sweep. Like it's gonna be a sweep at the Oscars, I think.
yeah, I feel like again, it's one battle after another. It's Sinners is the most nominated film ever of the 98 years of the Oscars with 16 nominations. It's
Mhm.
it's it's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot of nominations. Um, to give a little bit of credit of Jurassic World Rebirth and its similarity to Avatar: Fire and Ash, the whole movie is a big visual effect. Like that is the main draw of both of those movies. So like I can see the nomination. However, Avatar: Fire and Ash is literally creating new worlds
Yeah.
by each film that it makes, and then Jurassic World Rebirth is just giving us more and more realistic looking dinosaurs.
Yeah, but with the edge going to Fire and Ash, I think is once again talking about like the technology created
Yeah.
specifically for this film, like the like basic. I don't know what's the better word to say it. Just like the way now that it's you can get more detail out of the facial
Right.
features of the Navi, to the point where like you forget, like if you get lost in the movie you forget that it's visual effects. Like you're just
100%.
watching the movie. Like they're so good that it's almost like background. Like you don't even realize how good it is.
Yeah, and I believe it was the like in the visual effects category, those are the two things. Avatar won for main, for feature supporting visual effect went to Sinners, and then I believe it was the Golden Globes or the critics. I think it's the critics. Yeah, the critics gave best visual effects to Avatar: Fire and Ash. I find a hard time going against Avatar: Fire and Ash because it's Avatar. That's the thing. That's the main thing about these movies is the visual effects. It's the main draw that people go to the theater. It's like, oh, I have to see this movie in theater because of the visual effects. So to me, I think I have to give it to Avatar: Fire and Ash. However, I think Sinners is the next runner up on that. So I think Avatar probably should and will win. However, Sinners is like right up against it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm very torn because I think both are valid and worthy of winning. So like I'm not so let me put it this way. I'm not going to be mad if either if Avatar wins or if Sinner wins.
You gotta get.
I
you gotta
know,
pick one.
I
You gotta
know,
pick one.
Matthew, I know. So then I'm gonna go with Sinners. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go opposite. I'm gonna go opposite of you, Matthew. So we're gonna be against each other on this one.
On this one, I want to be with you.
I want to be with you. I want us to be together, but it's not. But it's not gonna happen. Unfortunately, both of these films, when it comes to visual effects, are incredible. So it's very hard to. We have a good problem. It's very hard to pick between the two.
Yes, and I also think just going one more leg for Avatar. Just putting my point is that the Oscars and the Academy are very familiar with like it almost like it's a quick box as they're doing their checklist. They're like, oh yeah, Avatar, yeah, I'll give it to Avatar. Like it's like one of those situations. So like they would really have to appreciate Sinners to go the other direction in that as well. But I think like one of us is going to be right.
Yeah. So
we have to be.
My only thing with Avatar is that did the first two win for visual effects? I don't remember.
Yeah,
they did.
Yeah.
They both did, right?
Yes.
Shit. See, that's because I'm like, well, are they going to give it to them again for the same thing when we have Sinners, whose visual effects is something different? Like they created. Well, I guess it's the same thing can be said for Avatar too, but whereas Avatar is like better of what we've already been appreciating, Sinners is something new visual effects that we can appreciate. That's kind of where my edge to Sinners goes.
Yeah, I mean, and also to your point, like the same argument we had last year that's happening this year for Wicked for Good was that are you going to award basically the same looking movie with the same performances because they filmed it back to back? Are you going to nominate them again for essentially the same thing? The answer is no.
Yeah, we found out very quickly the answer is no.
The answer was no. So they didn't even get a nomination this year. So
not even invited to the ceremony.
Not on that movie. But again, so that point, because I believe Way of Water and Fire and Ash is like there's not as a huge difference from Avatar and Way of Water. That was like a huge difference between those two movies. Way of Water and Fire and Ash, it does feel similar. It feels like a natural next step. But also, you to your point, it's just better of what we already got from Way of Water. So I think there is also an argument for Sinners here as well. But I just think that the Academy is going to be the Academy, and they're just going to give it to Avatar: Fire and Ash. But then again, Sinners could sweep. So, but I'm sticking with my guns. Avatar.
Well, we'll see because one of us is going to be wrong. One of us is going to be right. I just hope it's me.
And if we're both wrong, nuts.
Yeah, I'd be like, what the fuck? They're wrong. I'll just say at that moment, I'd be like, well, I guess we can just say fuck the Academy.
Ernest like, and this would be the last year we're covering this. Because,
so clearly the Oscars don't know shit. The Oscars literally know nothing. All right. Let's move on to film editing. So film editing, we have F1, Marty Supreme, One Battle After Another, Sentimental Value, and Sinners. What do you got, Matt?
I don't see sentimental value in this conversation.
Well, I don't either. That's an easy one to drop off.
Yeah, I really don't see it. The other ones, they have an argument for sure. I personally think that if this was going to go anywhere for F1, it's this one. Like
Ooh.
this
Okay.
movie it's quick, especially with the racing. Like these are quick editing. It's very like I feel like it just has the edge on like the keeping the audience engaged but also fired up because there's a lot of moving parts when it comes to racing and the certain reactions that you're getting and to keep that narrative moving forward and keep the excitement alive for it. A very similar way of how they were shooting and editing for Marty Supreme. A lot of chaos was happening, a lot of ping pong action, a lot of drama, and one battle after another. I think it's, and we'll get to that in a second. I think it's stronger in the cinematography than it is in the editing,
Yeah.
but the editing is also strong in that movie too. And I'm going to say Sinner's a little bit of a weak link in this category, in my opinion.
To me, I think obviously we think they're all great, but I think to me, I hear you for F1, but I think for the same reason, I want to give it to Marty Supreme because
Interesting.
because of that quick editing and making it exciting, we're watching fucking ping pong. And they made ping pong exciting through how they edited the film.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll be surprised if Sinners is going to sweep.
I think it's
Then
going to sweep in a lot of categories, but maybe for me, if Marty Supreme is going to get anything, for me, it's this one.
yeah, interesting. Like it's interesting to see where Marty Supreme kind of landed at the end of the day. Like I feel like there was a lot of forward momentum in the beginning of the award season for Marty Supreme, and as you mentioned, I feel like slowly has been tapering down on the Marty Supreme train.
And
So
what's interesting about that is where I feel like Sinners over time is doing better, and Marty Supreme came in hot and is slowly tapering off. Does that make sense?
yes, and also again, going back to the Eddie Awards, which was highlighting editing, for best editing for drama went to Sinners. Best editing for comedy went to One Battle After Another. So, and then best editing for the Critics' Choice went to F1. So, I mean, they've all won in certain categories, at least those three. Marty Supreme, not up there, maybe nominated, but not winning. So, I think there's an argument between those three. I'm surprised with Sinners as far as getting the win at the Eddie Awards, but I'm going to hold my guns here. I think there is some love for F1, and I think it's going to go down to the editing. They in years past, Top Gun Maverick won for best editing too, if I'm not mistaken, and that was also a very high stakes Joseph Krasinski movie that the Academy seemed to love. So I'm putting my vote into F1 with a second for maybe One Battle After Another.
Wow. We're going
Yeah.
but we're going totally opposite on this one.
Yeah. So what's
Interesting.
your should will?
My should win is Marty Supreme. I think Marty Supreme should win. But I think I'm going to double down. I think I'm going to double down on Marty Supreme.
Okay.
Maybe F1 as a close second.
Okay, but you're feeling Marty Supreme.
Yeah, I am.
All right. Interesting. We'll see what we get down to. All right, moving on.
All right.
Is this you or me?
I think it's you.
I don't remember. Anyway, nominees for production design. We have Frankenstein, Hamnet, Marty Supreme, One Battle After Another, and Sinners. For me, production design. To me, when I hear production design, I want to be in another world.
Mm.
And no other movie did that in this category than Frankenstein.
Oh, I'm with you. I'm. You can just go ahead and lock it in, because I was thinking the same thing.
It's like I can see product like Sinners. Yes, I can see it.
Sinners is a very close second.
The other ones are just kind of there. It's like you're filming in the environment, but you really have to build it in Frankenstein.
Yeah, I
Like
mean, they had to
even
build
in
the
Sinners, like you
laboratory.
have to build the period, and I think that's the key thing with production design. Like you really have to do a little extra work to make the world that we're in so believable that we believe it's real.
Yeah, yes,
And
yeah. You forget.
and
It has to
you
make you
forget.
forget.
Sorry, say it again.
No, I was just agreeing with you. I was saying it has to make you forget.
Yes, yes, and I think Frankenstein did the most. So, yeah, I think should and will is Frankenstein.
I think should and will, but Sinners I think is a close second. And the only I think Frankenstein just had more set pieces to work with. So like you think about like in the
Yeah.
ice, on the ship, the lab, the different city setting pieces. Whereas Sinners had some. We had the main their main area, the bar where most of the movie takes place. But then
Right.
you have the house, and then you have the church. Like there's a few
Mhm.
other little spots. I just feel like Frankenstein had more that it had to achieve as a part of the production design.
100%. And as we go, let me go look again. Look at the production design. Uh, where are we? I know I should have paired them. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Period piece went to Frankenstein. Contemporary feature went to One Battle After Another. So Sinners wasn't even in the conversation here, which I find interesting because I see it more for Sinners than I do for One Battle After Another. But again, they fall in that contemporary.
You made it look normal.
Made it look like how it should.
Yeah.
But overall, I think it's Frankenstein. Should and will.
Yes,
Like
I'm with you 100%. Should and will Frankenstein.
hmm
So let's move over to cinematography. We have once again Frankenstein, Marty Supreme, One Battle After Another, Sinners, and Train Dreams. I am gonna go with. To me, it's a really hard one. This is a really hard one for me, but because it's kind of between
go ahead.
my top. I would say my. See, I don't know. I'm kind of all right. Let me take the two off the board. I'm gonna take Frankenstein off the board, and I'm gonna take Marty Supreme. Like, even though I really don't want to take Marty Supreme off, but
Yeah,
for me,
I think that's two good ones. Two good ones to take off the board because I don't think that's much in the conversation, to be honest with you.
I mean, they're great, but I think comparatively between One Battle After Other, Sinners, and even Train Dreams cinematography was so purposeful that it was just so beautiful to watch. Like, I think it is a slow film, but I think just the way it's shot, like I just think the way it's shot kind of just ties into the whole vibe of the film. Like it's a really beautiful slow film that I think everybody needs to watch. It's a great film, and I think the cinematography is like the main highlight of this film.
Yeah, we talked about this in our Train Dreams review. The
Yeah.
two big things about the film was the cinematography and Joel Egerton's performance.
100%.
Those were the two highlights. So the nominations there, I 100% agree with the nomination. But to your point, comparatively, Frankenstein and Marty Supreme are not on par with the other three movies, and I would argue I would take Sinners off the board as well. I think it's really coming down to One Battle After Another and Train Dreams, and just going off of the other awards, we have the Critics' Choice Award gave Best Cinematography to Train Dreams, and we have the American Society of Cinematography at awards gave it to One Battle After Another, and I truly think those are the top two contenders. And even like the very end of the movie, when like the cars going up and down the hills, and like you can like your vantage point in One Battle After Another, I think was great. Some of the rooftop stuff as they were running, great camera work.
100%.
Yeah, I'm gonna say this. I think that Train Dreams should win. I think this is the best category it has in winning. However, One Battle After Another has been such on a hot streak. I think it will win.
Yeah,
I think Train Dreams should win. One Battle After Another will win.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. I would love for Train Dreams to win for this one.
Yeah, I I'll be surprised, and maybe it might win if they give it some love, if they want to spread the wealth a little bit. But again, if we're talking sweeping, if this is sweeping year, then one battle after another in Sinners is going to be sweeping, and so
Uh,
that it might just take this one as well. But I think one battle after another is going to take this one. But I would not be surprised, and I'll be very happy if Train Dreams gets it.
yeah, I'm with you on that one. I'm with you on that one.
All right, moving on to nominees for costume design. We have Avatar, Fire and Ash, Frankenstein, Hamnet, Marty Supreme, and Sinners. Again, each a lot of these are more or less period pieces, for the most part. And with the Avatar, Fire and Ash, not as a period piece, but you're coming up with otherworldly garments to put on your avatar, you're the Navi. And so I can definitely see the nomination there. I think we're talking like full heavy period piece costumes. We're looking at Frankenstein.
Mm,
Like I think it has it. But if you're looking for more of like the period piece that wasn't Sinners, I think it also has the edge there. For me, it's really coming down to those two. And if I'm going down to the costume design, they said excellence in contemporary went to One Battle After Another, period, Frankenstein, and costume illustration went to Sinners. So like there were spreading the wealth a little bit on that one over at the costume design awards. It I hmm. It's
I've,
interesting that One Battle After Another is not on this list as
yeah,
far as costumes.
for me,
So
to me, there's a clear front runner for this one, and that's Franken.
okay.
I think for me, it's Frankenstein. I think for the same reason why I want to give it why I gave it costume. I think it's excuse me,
Production.
production design is the same reason why I want to give it to costume design. I just think they had more to work with Sinners being a close second on that one.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you. I think Frankenstein should and will win. Close second going to Sinners. I think that's fair. All right, moving on.
Moving right along. We have so much to talk about in this category.
Yes, there's a couple movies we have not talked about yet.
Yeah, so we are moving to makeup and hairstyling. And there's two movies here that we haven't talked about yet. And that would be sorry, excuse me, right, getting my times down.
Yeah, I'll list the nominees. So the nominees are Frankenstein, Kokuho, Sinners, The Smashing Machine, and The Ugly Stepsister. And there's an argument for honestly all of these movies. I can definitely see the nomination for all of them. And there's a few we have not talked about. One, just to make a note that this is the Smashing Machine's only not Oscar nomination for the prosthetics, primarily of that was put on Dwayne Johnson. And that was pretty much the big draw to the movie was to see Dwayne Johnson, one in a serious drama, and two looks a little bit different than what he normally looks like. So can definitely see the Oscar nomination there. But there are two movies we have not talked about. Which one would you like to start with, Ernesto?
Oh, I think let's start with Kokuo first.
Okay.
So it was actually a really good movie. I actually would have liked to have seen this movie in an international feature film section. I think, granted, this movie is like almost 3 hours long, but you kind of follow this actor through like these different stages of his life, and basically it's a story of like somebody with unchecked ambition and like and what the repercussions of that are. And I think that it was a great story showcasing that, and also kind of where I think the nomination is for is just to the lengths they went to showcase the art of kabuki, which is this what the actor does he plays an actor in the movie who's a kabuki actor, but in that 3 hours you kind of dive into the world while you're kind of going through his life.
Yeah, and also what I really appreciate about the movie was that because I was not familiar with the world, they kind of did a little bit of like, hey, what they're performing right now, here's a description of said performance. And then I was able to appreciate it a little bit more because I at least understood what was happening on the screen rather than me trying to figure out the story of the play. And I think that was helpful because then I was less focused on what the play was about and more focused on the performances and the story that was happening within the movie rather than the story in the play. But I agree with you. It was a long movie, but I definitely was kind of like a retrospective of like a person's career and the sacrifices that he made, and also the not only the sacrifices, but like the burden that he had
Hmm.
throughout his life of like kind of overshadowing something that he was probably always meant to have and meant to be involved with, but the society just did not allow it to happen. Or like it wasn't an easy road for him because of how good he was. He was almost being punished for being too talented.
Yeah, but it was also his drive in that effort. Like,
Yes.
there were many points during his career where he could have stepped back and went to a normal life. Like there's a point where where the geisha who he was with, like she has a baby, has a baby with him, and that could have been a point for him to like take a step away from that and kind of lead the normal life. But instead he took the alternate route where he basically ignored his family. I mean, literally they're celebrating him in the village or whatever, and she's saying dad, and he's literally
Yeah.
like not like she no longer exists. He doesn't need her anymore. And it was interesting to see that aspect of the story come full circle, because it almost was like a reminder of this pitchfork in his life. Because at the end they're interviewing him, of like kind of highlighting his career, and the photographer who's there also happens to be his daughter, which he recognizes right away. But to me, that was a great reflection moment of like, was it worth it? And I think the movie doesn't answer the question, but the movie makes you question afterwards: is everything he did, was it worth it? Like he basically like disrupted this family, which he didn't ask to be a part of. He was brought in and taken under his wing after his family was murdered, because he was a son of a Yakuza member. So he was taken under this big prestigious actor. But given that, he took the road that was given. He took the things that were given to him. Like, they wanted to give him the family name, and he could have chosen to not take it, but he chose to take it because it would have given him the what's the word I'm looking for?
Or given the notoriety,
Thank you.
the
Yeah, it would have given him,
respect.
yes. His name would have had like respect, and people just would have been taking him. They took him more seriously because he received this such an honorable thing, and he put this disgrace on, I guess, what would be his brother. And then like the end of his brother's story was just so sad. Like that last performance they did at the very end of the movie, it was like heartbreaking.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of heartbreak, a lot of death in that movie too.
Yeah.
Like throughout like this man's career, and honestly, in a way, it had a similar sentiment. Excuse me, to Jay Kelly, where like you spent a career, and you were career focused, and you put your family on the back burner so you can continue to do more work. But then when it came down to the end, was it worth it? Was it worth, having a career filled with, success and fame, but yet you have no one to come back to, or all your loved ones are kind of dying off, or no one wants to, be with you after, you're ready to settle down. Different messaging between the two movies, but I think the sentiment is kind of there for both movies. But yeah, I enjoyed this one. Again, it was long, but I didn't feel the 3 hours, if that made sense.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah. And then moving on to the other one, which Ernesto does not like.
Man, have I been waiting to talk about this movie with you, Matt?
Yeah.
I do not understand why this crazy ass movie was nominated. There is some pretty horrific body horror shit that I just don't understand. It's just crazy, with all the unnecessary sex scenes in the middle of the barn, and you see the guys come running down her clothes. Like, what was the point? What was the point of that?
I mean,
and I mean, you see her like go through some pretty horrific shit, like this one. Like, what is this, Matt? What is this? Like,
that's a trigger warning. That's what that is.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I frighten you? Is this frightening to look at?
Yeah.
For those who are just listening, we are looking at a screen grab of The Ugly Stepsister, where the sister, who earlier in the movie, who wants to stay skinny, eats a tapeworm. And now we're at the end of the film where she's like literally falling apart. And sister's like, oh, I can grab it for you. And then you proceed to watch this scene where she pulls this tapeworm out of her mouth and you like hear her gurgling and like choking. It is fucking disgusting. Like that, like there's some other horrific shit that's even more horrific that I just didn't want to get a screen grab of, because it, like her chopping her foot off or her watching her sew the eyelashes onto her eye was, I was like, I could literally feel like my eye twitching as it was happening. And maybe that's why it's nominated. Maybe that's the point. You know, it's not supposed to be entertaining. It's supposed to like send a message.
It's polarizing is what it is.
Yeah.
But very similar to The Substance.
Yes.
The Substance, I think, did a better job at kind of pushing down the same message. The Substance was more about youth and taking advantage of said youth, or taking advantage of your, like, not really thinking about your future when you're young, and then, you know, and kind of like the things that you do when you're young is only punishing your older self. You just don't realize it or don't care. And then also there's a beauty in aspect of that as well. The beauty of it in The Ugly Stepsister is pretty much similar to, like, you're willing to go through these extremes to capture beauty. And I think that's what the message was in this film, The Ugly Stepsister. Like, they were trying, and this was a spin and a very twisted take on Cinderella, where the ugly, quote unquote, the ugly stepsister was trying so hard to be this beautiful woman to grab the attention of the prince, and going through these extreme lengths in order to do so, losing weight, getting eyelashes, spending all of this money. And I think the messaging was very strong and very polarizing and also very disgusting.
Yeah. Yeah. It was.
But I appreciate it for all of those things. Like, I got the message. There were some things that were just a little bit too much. Like, I think where even The Substance pushed the limits, this movie pushed it further than that.
Yeah. It's like, oh, you're like body horror? Here, let's crank this shit up to 10. That's basically what this movie is.
The eyelash thing was the only thing I actually looked away. And I'm pretty good with some of this, like, horrific stuff. It just depends on which context you're doing it. But, like, the eyelash thing, like, I had to look away. I couldn't really look at it. It was just the eye stuff that kind of gets me.
It wasn't chopping her. It wasn't her chopping her toes off so that she could.
No, that's
squeeze
okay. The tapeworm was also disgusting too. Like, when they were
Yes.
just pulling it out, and like you can even the sound. Like, I'm like the sound of that.
I just figured you wanted to see it again.
No, I'm good. I don't need to see it again.
But don't you love this movie so much? This is cinema.
You're right. This is cinema. This is cinema. I'd also give it credit because this movie premiered in Shudder, and Shudder has always been a great place for horror movies, and I think this is a great example of some, like, hidden gems that are in Shudder. Well, maybe a hidden gem for me, not one for you.
I mean, you know what? But this isn't one of those that, you know, to each their own. Everybody enjoys different things, so.
But going into the category, the nominees, if you would, for makeup and hairstylings, Kukuho has a great stance on that. Like, that whole movie is completely 100% about it. With the costumes, with the makeup and everything. Like, primarily, like, 2 in 1. Like, that the costumes and the makeup are both hand in hand in that movie. Where The Ugly Stepsister is primarily more about probably the makeup and the different prosthetics that they were using to like make her beautiful, not beautiful, all the crazy things that they were doing in that movie. So, like, I can definitely see the nomination there. It really just for the Smashing Machine is really just for that. I don't know. I feel like Sinners, again, maybe makeup, again, more for the costumes, less about the makeup and hairstylings, but I could be wrong. I may be jaded between like what I'm looking for in a like kind of standing out. And again, going to Frankenstein has a fairly strong argument, not only with the costumes for the period piece. Sorry, not only for the costumes, but also Jacob Elordi as Frankenstein. Like,
To me, that's the front runner. Like Frankenstein, for everything you just said, like you hit the nail on the head. Like it, for me, Frankenstein could and should and will win.
it's a tough one. I think there's a strong argument for Kokuo.
I
I just
agree.
I just don't think it's gonna I don't think it's gonna go for it.
Mm-mm.
And with everything else, we have costume designs and Frankenstein won for wow.
Whoa.
Period. Talking too fast here. Excellence in period film went to Frankenstein, and contemporary went to One Battle After Another, which is again not on this list. And then even for the critics' choice, hair and makeup also went to Frankenstein as well. Wait, I think I said the wrong one. I said costume design. Where is hair and makeup? Um, hair and makeup. Yeah, I said it right.
Yeah.
Yeah, contemporary went to One Battle After Another. Period went to Sinners, and then prosthetics went to Frankenstein. Hairstylings went to One Battle After Another. Character hairstyling went to Sinners. So I guess just comparing the two, Frankenstein and Sinners has the biggest, probably the two front runners in this category. And if that's the case, then I'm giving the edge to Frankenstein.
Yeah. Yeah.
However, I think probably should win, probably Kuko. I think that has a strong sense there, but I think what will win is Frankenstein.
I think Frankenstein once again just has more to work with to earn it the nomination because I think it achieves the same thing that Kuko did, but then you also have Jacob Elordi as the monster.
Yes, exactly. And I think a surprise win, in my opinion, is probably Sinners. Like if not too much of a surprise, but like that's the ones like, oh, okay, then that means the Sinners are just sweeping.
Yeah.
Like if it gets that. But I will be a little bit surprised if it won, but not too surprised because it's going to be Sinners night if it's really doing well at the Oscars.
Yeah, totally agree.
All right, moving on.
So moving on to sound. We have F1, Frankenstein, One Battle After Another, Sinners, and Seurat. For me, this is a toss-up between Sinners and F1. Maybe with the edge going to F1.
To me, this is a no-brainer. This is F1 should and will.
Should and will? All right.
Should and will. Like as far as sound, like Sinners has a decent argument. I really don't see it for One Battle After Another. Frankenstein, again, creating that world, but that wasn't the highlight of that movie. Seurat, very strange movie, but the sound was definitely prominent.
Yeah.
But if we're going for like sound editing and mixing and kind of seeing the difference between the two, I think again, some of these technical categories, I think F1 has a good strong chance here. So I think should and will for F1.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with you with F1 on this one.
All right. Moving on to the next one, which is nominees for original song. Dear Me from Diane Warren, Relentless. Golden from K-pop Demon Hunters. I Lied to You, Sinners. Sweet Dreams of Joy from Viva Verde. And Train Dreams from Train Dreams. So before we go deep diving into the nominees and our predictions, there are two movies again we have not talked about, both which are documentaries. And the first one we'll talk about is Diane Warren, Relentless.
I thought it was absolutely fantastic. Like, what a great, absolutely great documentary. Like, to me, I kind of wish that it was nominated for Best Documentary. It was just so heartfelt and so raw and so real and funny, and just going through like the different phases of her life. And like so many songs that we grew up to love, like she created them. Like she basically she is like the songbird of the late 1990s. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like some of the best songs that people still sing today are her songs. Like I think just the way the documentary was constructed was absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, I think it's also crazy to see how many times that she has been nominated for an Oscar, but
Yes.
never technically won an Oscar. At the end of the documentary, they highlighted that she won an honorary Oscar for her contribution to uh, her lyrics and film and music, or music and film. However, she has not won a true Oscar yet, but yet she's been nominated, I think 17 or 18 times. But that just shows how much of a hit maker she is and how much of a lyricist she is and like how much in tune with music that she can find the right words, find the right tune, find the right artist, and boom, another hit coming out of it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think there was something, I think maybe it was Jennifer Hudson who said it, who was just talking about like she has these beautiful songs, but then she just allows the artist to just kind of breathe some
Mhm.
soul into it. And I
Yeah.
think that works. Like it's the song is more of a collaborative effort. It is really nice when artists write and produce their own songs. But I get this documentary was a testament that there is something to be said about a just a phenomenal songwriter who provides these songs for these amazing artists to where like they only have to worry about breathing life into the song, not creating the song. Like that thing,
Yeah.
those things are great too. But this is I mean, look at the amazing work that she's been able to give us.
100%. And then quickly talking about Viva Verde, the documentary, the song "Sweet Dreams of Joy" was pretty much highlighted at the very end credits of the movie. Has really nothing to do with the movie or the documentary itself. However, the documentary was really interesting.
Yeah, I thought it was cool. Like a retirement home for artists is basically what it
Yeah,
is. It's basically what it is. Um,
yeah, that could be a movie.
it absolutely it could. It absolutely could. And
Yeah,
I just thought it was a great way to show how they're honoring artists at the end of their life as opposed
yeah,
to them being forgotten somewhere. Like this is a way for them to continue. It was a way to show that they can enjoy their life. Like they can be the artist they are until their end.
yeah. And then also, what's crazy was that there's also a college program that's in that house as well. So that I think they said they accepted like 16 students a year, and they come into the house and they live there and they learn from all of these legendary artists who are also staying there and give them tips and pointers and all that stuff. And I think that's really cool to kind of pass it on to the next generation. Is like I feel like that whole process, like you guys got a whole system that fucking works, man.
Yeah.
Like that, it's a 100% amazing stuff there. It's just like just humans helping out other like people helping people,
Yep.
like teaching the next generation, caring for your elders, like it's all there. And what was even heartbreaking at the end of it, they're like, here are the people that are featured in this documentary, and almost all of them are dead.
It's like he died, she
Yeah,
died. There's a few that are still alive, but
yeah.
the majority had already passed on.
And I was like, damn, like we were already getting used to these people.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's just the heartbreaking stuff, and life goes on. And I thought the documentary was like the song was fine. I thought it was really beautiful,
Yeah.
like
Um
beautifully sung.
I think as far as the actual songs that we're talking about for nominations, to me, it's a toss up. Well, it's okay. Let me take that back. There is a clear front runner for this, but to me,
I think it's a clear winner.
yeah, exactly. Golden, obviously, K-pop Demon Hunters is going to be the winner, but I would like to see it go to "I Lied to You" from Sinners.
Yeah, it's interesting because it's funny because we were talking about Diane Warren. It's like yet nominated again for an Academy Award. It's like, and you're gonna lose once again. There's no way you are winning in this category. I to be honest, this was not as I don't think it was a great song. Like, dear me, I thought like Kesha did fine, and I thought the words were fine, but like I
Yeah,
just didn't like compared to all of her other hits, this was not a strong contender. So I was actually really interested to see, this one get nominated. And I think just because I know Diane Warren, maybe like that's maybe some of the ties there. The Academy is very familiar with her, and they always keep nominating her, but they don't give her the win.
yeah. It
And I
was.
think
Just real quick on Diane Warren. I think there was a moment where she does the song with Lady Gaga during the
yes,
and they performed that during the Oscars, and I think Billie Eilish won. Was that the year that Billie Eilish won for No Time to Die? Was that what that
yes,
was? Why the fuck did that song win? Like I like thinking looking back now, like her song with Lady Gaga meant so much more
yeah,
as a I mean, I don't know. Like clearly she definitely should have won. She was, I mean, you could tell in her career there have been many times she was probably robbed. But I mean, just recently from like
That one.
Oscars that we've covered and we watched, like rewatching those Oscars and hearing that, I was like, damn, Billie Eilish should not have won.
Yeah. I mean, and that just shows the power of James Bond, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess that's true.
But with that, I didn't really see a strong sense for Train Dreams as well. And so ultimately it comes down to this Golden and I Lied to You. I Lied to You is such a fantastic song.
Yeah.
It meant so much in the movie.
Mhm.
Like, and honestly, obviously K-pop Demon Hunters Golden has been sweeping in every other awards category, and it's clearly going to win. And I think I even said this when I saw the movie. It's like, that's going to win for best original song. It is right there. The difference between Sinners, which was a transcendent song in the movie,
Mhm.
and the lyrics hold so much weight in the film. The same goes for Golden. The only difference between Golden and I Lied to You was that Golden was an international, worldwide sensation.
Yeah. Yeah.
It not only transcended in the film itself, it translated to us.
Like Billboard
as-
Billboard Top 100.
Yeah. There is no way that that song does not win.
Yeah.
So, but I would be completely shocked but I still think it deserves to win, but I Lied to You. But however, I think there's a better case for the next category rather than this one. But for the sake of this one, I think what should win is should and will is Golden at K-pop Demon Hunters.
Yeah. I totally agree. I think it's going to win. Even though This Is What It Sounds Like is the better song, which is we've talked about before, but I'll take it. Golden is a close second.
Fair.
So let's move on to original score. We have Begonia, Frankenstein, Hamnet, One Battle After Another, and Sinners. And for me, this one goes to my boy, Ludwig Göransson. Should and will locking in for Sinners.
Yeah, and that's the thing, and that's where I was gonna kind of counterbalance. I think there was a great song in Sinners, but overall, it's the score of Sinners that brings that song together.
Yeah, I agree.
And I think so. Like, if we're kind of spreading the wealth a little bit on the music around the films, like K-pop Demon Hunters probably had the better song in Golden. Obviously, we just talked about it, but Sinners 100% had the better score.
Yeah, 100%.
And I was listening to the other scores, and I think Hamnet and One Battle After Another had a really good theme. Like, there was like a main theme that I was listening to when I was listening to the albums, and Hamnet and One Battle After Another had like a really good main theme for the movie, and it was really like catchy. The rest of the scores were like just kind of either quiet or random. Frankenstein was also very quiet, had a very period piece, like with stuff that you would typically hear associated to the Frankenstein. Had a couple of good moments, and Begonia, I don't even know why it's there.
Yeah,
I don't know. I didn't really find anything out of Begonia, in my opinion.
It was just weird. It ties into his weird movies.
Yeah, but I think to me it's a clear front runner. It's going to win. Sinners should and will win. Yeah, Sinners should and will, locking it down.
Yeah, we can just go ahead and move on because that's clearly I mean, we already know that's what's gonna win. So let's move on to All right, this is you. Sorry.
Oh, so nominees for documentary feature, we have The Alabama Solution, Come See Me in the Good Light, Cutting Through Rocks, Mr. Nobody Against Putin, and The Perfect Neighbor. This one's going to be a tough category. A lot of the stuff here is very topical, but I think as the Academy going to be Academying, and I have a feeling that The Edge is going to go to The Perfect Neighbor.
Yeah. I mean, they're all these documentaries are great. To me, it's really between Alabama Solution and Perfect Neighbor, with The Edge going to Perfect Neighbor.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you. I think all of these documentaries are have very strong messaging.
They're great.
What
really
they're trying to say. I don't think like there is not a bad documentary in the bunch here.
No, No, there's been some years where there's been some weird ones.
Yes.
But I really enjoyed these 5.
Yeah, 100%. And I think and it really comes down to what's hitting your message more. And I think that's The Perfect Neighbor.
Yeah.
And then I agree with you. Second, roughly around the Alabama Solution. I can see some people having a sweet spot for a soft spot for Come See Me in the Good Light.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of like relatability with that one as well. But it's really up. But I think The Perfect Neighbor has the good edge on that. So I think should and will on that one.
Yeah, I agree. So let's move on to international feature film. We have The Secret Agent from Brazil. It Was Just an Accident from France. Sentimental Value from Norway. Surat from Spain. And The Voice of Hin Rajab from Tanzania. Tunisia.
Yes, Tunisia.
I think this is going to go. This is where Sentimental Value is kind of nominated for a lot of different things. I think this is where it's going to win. His should and will Sentimental Value.
Interesting. Okay.
Or
we might differ on this one.
With a close second being The Secret Agent.
Yeah. And the sad part is with it, I feel like it happens every year. It's gonna be the trend that never fails. There are 2 movies here that are nominated for Best Picture. If you don't win it for Best Picture, you're probably have a better chance of winning an international feature film.
Mm-hmm.
And those 2 movies are The Secret Agent and Sentimental Value. It Was Just an Accident, Surat, and The Voice of Hin Rahib have not even been mentioned at all in any of the other categories. And when they go to other international feature film, these are not even the ones that they're even talking about. Well, with the exception of
Surat.
like The Secret Agent and Sentimental Value. And so I think, I think it can go either way, but I'm going to give the edge to The Secret Agent.
Ooh.
I do not think it's the better movie because ultimately I think The Voice of Hin Rajib is the best movie out of this bunch here.
Oh, I agree 100%. That movie was probably the most effective out of all
of
them.
100%.
And you were in and out.
You
were in and out in 90 minutes, and it had the most effective messaging.
Yes, 100%. I think that's one should win, but it ain't gonna happen.
Yeah, I'm gonna with you on that one. I think sentiment, for at least for me, I think Sentimental Value will win, but I think what should win is The Voice of Hin Rajab.
And I think what should win is The Voice of Hin Rajab, but I think The Secret Agent's gonna take it.
Ooh, I guess we'll have to see who's right and who's wrong, Matthew.
Yeah, and I think mainly because it's interesting because The Secret Agent has a very similar vibe to I'm Still Here.
Yep. Yeah.
And Sentimental Value, in a way, kind of, sort of, I understand it's not, but a similar vibe to Anatomy of a Fall, where it's very family drama driven, but they're very 2 different movies. They're not the same.
Boy, Anatomy of a Fall is a way better film.
Yes,
I mean, I hear what you're saying, but they are not comparable. Like that movie.
No, that's fair. That's fair. I think it was a stretch.
But I hear what you're like vibe wise. They are very similar in like how they're presented, especially like pacing wise. They're very similar, but Anatomy of Fall is just a fucking great movie. Like
it was a good movie.
It was a fucking really good movie.
It was a good movie. But yeah, it really depends on what the Academy is feeling, because it could go to Sentimental Value, it could go to Secret Agent, but I think we're feeling 2 different vibes here. So we'll see what it comes down to at the end. But I think we're both in agreement that The Voice of Hin Rajib should probably win that.
It absolutely should win. It's not going to win, but it should win.
Yes.
Right.
So you will is Sentimental Value, and mine is The Secret Agent.
Yes.
But all right, let's move on. Moving on to nominees for animated feature film, we have Arco, Elio, K-pop Demon Hunters, Little Amelie or the Character of Rain, and Zootopia 2. What's kind of sad is that, I mean, not really sad, but Elio, well, yeah, it is sad. Elio, I believe, is the best movie out of the bunch here. However, it's not even being recognized, and it's not even in the conversation.
You're tripping, man.
So
Elio is a fantastic movie, and it is a great runner-up. But what should and will win is K-pop Demon Hunters. Like, let's
Yeah,
just
I
let's
mean,
just
there's
let's
no
just be
question.
real. Let's just be real. Let's just call a spade a spade. Like, K-pop Demon Hunters is definitely gonna win. I'm sorry, 110% of Netflix viewers watched K-pop Demon Hunters. That means that everybody watched it, and then 10% of people rewatched it several times. So
Several
clearly, it's obviously the one that's gonna win.
It is the clear front runner. It has, I don't think any other category in the other awards, unless it was the Annie Awards that were differentiating between the two, all of it went to K-pop Demon Hunters. It will be a complete and utterly shock if it went to anybody else.
Yeah, get out of here. Like, the other movies are
So
great, and we talked about them when we did an animated feature review.
I think the only one that could maybe steal it from it is Arco, and I 100% don't agree with it.
No way.
But if there was going to be a shocker, it would be Arco taking it from K-pop Demon Hunters. However, even if I was going to give it a second runner-up, I would still choose Elio over Arco. But again, clear front runner. It's K-pop Demon Hunters.
I mean, I really loved Little Amelie, or the character of Rain. I thought it was like a really beautiful story, but I mean, it still doesn't amount to K-pop or Elio.
Yeah, it's. I mean, and Zootopia 2, fine.
Yeah, it was fine.
It's fine.
All right.
But it's K-pop's award to lose.
Yeah, that's exact. I mean, it's very clear that that's who it's going to. So let's move on. Now we're starting to get into the nitty gritty of shit. Down to the bottom here. So let's start with
or to the top.
I guess you're right, depending on how you look at it. Adapted screenplay. We have Begonia, Frankenstein, Hamnet, One Battle After Another, and Train Dreams. Let's see. For me, what did I pick for this one? Ooh, it's a toss-up for me. It's between One Battle After Another and Train Dreams, with the edge going to One Battle After Another.
To me, the clear front runner is One Battle After Another. I mean, it's been sweeping all the other award shows.
It's gonna win.
I saw the Writers Guild give it to One Battle After Another for adapted screenplay, I was like, well, there you go. That's the nail in the coffin right there for all the other nominees. I think One Battle After Another is going to sweep in certain categories, and there is no stopping the writing from One Battle After Another. There's no stopping from winning a lot of writing categories. So for me, like it's going to that. I think if there was a close second, maybe Begonia, maybe.
I mean, Begonia was good. It just got really fucking weird at the end. Like, it just went a total left field.
I mean, it depends how you feel about, Frankenstein and Guillermo del Toro's adaptation, and the same for Hamnet. I think the nominations are strong all around. But to me, it's One Battle After Another. I'm not sure if I would agree that any one of them should win, because I'm not like all jazzed up by any one of these scripts, to be honest with you. But I know which one will win, and it's One Battle After Another.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. All right, so let us move on to original screenplay. It's you.
It's me. Okay. Nominees for original screenplay, we have Blue Moon, It Was Just an Accident, Marty Supreme, Sentimental Value, and Sinners. And for the exact same reason I just said about One Battle After Another, the other award, the other film that's been winning in almost every category when it comes to original screenplay, and if it's not losing to One Battle After Another, it's winning for its own category, and that's Sinners.
Yeah, this is where Sinners is going to win.
Yeah, I think there is a world where this might be Sinners' highest award, depending on how well Sinners and or One Battle After Another is doing. But I think this is Ryan Coogler's shine to get the Oscar here. Like, him personally, not as a film, not as a director. I think this is the one that he's gonna get his Oscar for. Like, I believe this will be his first Oscar.
Well, he didn't win for
I'm not sure if he personally won for Black Panther
or for Fruitvale Station.
No, I don't think so. Double check me on that. But I don't think Ryan Coogler personally has won an Oscar. But I
No, he has not won an Academy Award, despite earning 5 nominations throughout his career.
yeah, I think this is the one he's going to win.
Yep. Yeah, I agree. I agree 100%.
Yeah. So I think should and will, because I mean the script for Sinners is incredible. And nothing against the other ones. I think the writing is very strong for Blue Moon, and I really enjoy the story for Marty Supreme. But ultimately, it's Sinners. Should and will.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm with you on this one. So now let's start moving on to the acting awards.
Oh,
Shit's getting real. So we're actor in a supporting role. Benicio del Toro in One Battle After Another. Jacob Elordi in Frankenstein. Delroy Lindo in Sinners. Sean Penn in One Battle After Another. And Stellan Skarsgård in Sentimental Value. To me, it's between Jacob Elordi and Delroy Lindo. For me, it should go to Jacob Elordi, but I think that Delroy Lindo is going to win.
so this is a very interesting category because I want to double check the BAFTA. Is it on here? I do not see it. Okay. Anyway, yeah, this is a very interesting category because, like we mentioned before, we have winners in with the exception of Benicio del Toro, who has been nominated a lot but have not been winning in any category. So I think just basing off all the other award shows, we can probably single him out. But Jacob Elordi won at the Critics' Choice. Stellan Skarsgård won the Golden Globes. I could be mixing the two. Let me double check. The Golden Globes went to Stellan Skarsgård, and the Critics' Choice went to Jacob Elordi. The Actors Award gave it to Sean Penn. And so now they're not even a clear front runner on which one's going to get it. And if I'm not mistaken, Ernesto, if you don't mind looking this up, who won supporting actors at the BAFTA? Because I didn't write down the BAFTA ones, but I think it went to Delroy Lindo, but I could be wrong on that.
BAFTA Awards
2026. That was a couple of weeks ago.
What are we looking for? Best actor?
No, supporting.
Looks like Sean Penn.
Okay, so Sean Penn took it at the BAFTAs. Okay. So, and I said this from the beginning that after I saw One Battle After Another, I said Sean Penn is like that was an incredible performance from him after watching that movie. He was a highlight for me in that movie. So I feel, and I think the hype of Stellan Skarsgård has kind of died down after the Golden Globes. He has not been getting a lot of recognition for his performance, and Sentimental Value as a whole have not been getting a lot of recognition. That's kind of been going down with Marty Supreme a little bit. So I'm going to give the edge to Sean Penn. I think Sean Penn is going to win supporting actor, and I think what maybe should win is Jacob Elordi in Frankenstein.
See, I think Jacob Elordi. I'm gonna go for Jacob Elordi, who I think should win, but I think will win is Delroy Lindo. But I still want to double down for Jacob Elordi.
I'm gonna say Sean Penn.
All right.
On that. But I mean, between those three, like, yeah, I don't know. I'm still going with Sean Penn. Sean Penn's gonna win, and what probably should win is Jacob Elordi because his Frankenstein was incredible.
And he made the movie. He literally made the movie.
Yeah, 100%. But we'll see. Interesting. All right. Nominees for actress in a supporting role. We have Elle Fanning in Sentimental Value. Inga Iba's daughter Ilias. I did not even come close on that.
Igna Ib's daughter Lilius
For Sentimental Value. Amy Madigan for Weapons.
Why? I mean, she's great, but I don't. It was not that deep. Her performance was not that deep. Like, so many
Apparently,
others.
for others, it was.
There's so many others that
Uh,
could be put in that position. But okay.
Wanumi Masaku in Sinners and Tiana Taylor in One Battle After Another.
To me, I'm locking it in. Tiana Taylor could and should and would and will win. I think she's gonna take it.
That's interesting. So in the actors, they gave it to Amy Madigan.
Get the fuck out of here! Like
for the critics, they gave it to Amy Madigan. For the Golden Globes, they gave it to Tiana Taylor. And for the BAFTAs, they gave it to Winmi Musaku. So
she was great. She was fantastic.
Here's a trend. Here's a trend. Sentimental Value is not getting any love. So I'm taking those two off the board. We're going down to these three. Here, I don't agree with what I'm about to say. I think who should win is when Manumi Musaku. I feel like I'm keep pronouncing her name wrong.
Wunmi Musaku. Yeah, you said it right.
I think she should win because Tiana Taylor, even though she was good in the supporting role, she was barely in the movie. She like took the front half and was the focal point of the movie, but her performance was only the first couple of minutes. She was out for the rest of the movie. And the same argument was said with Anne Hathaway for Les Mis. Like she had a very small role and she won the Oscar for Les Mis and Best Supporting Actress. So it can be done and it has been done before. And I think Tiana Taylor's in the same boat. I think it was a really strong performance, but she didn't have a lot of screen time. And so I feel like I'm going to take her off the board just a little bit because I didn't feel it could be as strong as even like if you put Chase Infinity in there, I think we're having a different conversation.
Yeah, where the fuck is her nomination? Like, fuck it.
Was nominated.
Amy Madigan's fine. She's a great actress. Her role in Weapons, I don't think is like, it's not like an Oscar level performance. Like, am I wrong? Am I wrong to say that?
No.
Like, what is this crazy obsession with Weapons lately? Like, the movie's good. Don't get me wrong. Like, but let's take a fucking step back here. Like Chase Infinity and One Battle After Another, she should absolutely be nominated. I want to give it to Tiana Taylor. Yeah, she wasn't in it as much, but her performance was so strong that she became the driving force of the entire rest of the film.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you. I think Wanumi Masaku's performance was also very strong in the movie as well.
Yeah.
I think she should win. And Tiana Taylor, if you want to go for a supporting, her character and her strong performance was the driving force for the entire movie for all characters. As Chase Infinity as a daughter, Leonardo DiCaprio as a husband, and as Sean Penn as a creepy lover. Like she was the driving force, and like her character's legacy was throughout the whole movie. So like her character is definitely there in the movie, but her performance was just obviously not the whole way through. So I don't know. I'm kind of torn with the should. However, and I don't agree with this. I think Amy Madigan's gonna win.
Fuck that. That's gonna be a really upset for me. Like I just like she should. I hear you, and
it's happening too much for me to ignore it.
Yeah, you're right. That doesn't make just because you're right doesn't make it right.
Yeah, I get it. But then again, the Oscars has in the past went unconventional with certain things. Like all the other awards were giving it to, for example, Amy Madigan, but the true winner should have been somebody else. And it has happened before. So it's tough. This one's a really tough one for me because there's 3 great performances there that I think it can go either way. And also, I really enjoyed Elle Fanning's performance in Sentimental Value, but just no one's really talking about it. So I think in the reality, it's not going to happen.
Yeah,
I think Sentimental Value is going to walk away with 0 awards, in my opinion.
Yeah, it'll just be highly nominated.
Yeah, it's even highly nominated. I don't think it's going to win anything. So this one's tough. I want to be with you. I want to say that Tiana Taylor's probably but Unumi Wasaku, I don't know. This was a really tough one. I think Amy Madigan's going to win, and I want to be wrong. And I think who should win probably Unumi Masaku for Sinners, but there's also a great argument for Tiana Taylor in One Battle After Another. Like her character is prominent throughout the whole movie. So
Yeah.
that's kind of where I am. It's not really much of an answer.
It's not, but I'm gonna take it. But I'm locking
Yeah.
in. But I'm locking in Tiana Taylor.
All right. Let's move on.
I guess we'll see, Matthew. I guess we'll see,
Yeah.
huh?
We'll see. That was a tough one.
All right, so let's move on to actor in a leading role. We have Timothée Chalamet in Marty Supreme, Leonardo DiCaprio in One Battle After Another, Ethan Hawke in Blue Moon, Michael B. Jordan in Sinners, Wagner Moura in The Secret Agent. So initially, I think the front runner was Timothée Chalamet, and that's kind of what we were talking about earlier. We've been seeing the trend go towards Michael B. Jordan in Sinners, which I'm not mad at. I think there is something to be said for him taking on two lead roles playing against himself. I think like that in itself is an achievement. So for me, I'm locking in. I'm going to double down on Michael B. Jordan, although my original pick was Timothée Chalamet and Marty Supreme.
I can't argue with that because it's exactly what happened. I really enjoyed Ethan Hawke's performance in Blue Moon.
Yeah.
And me personally, I think Leonardo DiCaprio had stronger performances in other movies. So personally, and for those two reasons, well, I think those nominations are valid, but I think those are off the board. Wagner Moura has a more reason to kind of stick around, and he might get a surprise win depending on what the Oscars are feeling. But I think The Secret Agent has been not getting the attention that the other, like in this particular category. It won the Golden Globes and that's it. And then the conversation kind of died there. So I think for that reason, I think he's going to be off the table. To your point, Timothée Chalamet was a clear frontrunner in the beginning of the award season, but Michael B. Jordan has been creeping up and just killing it lately. And like he won the actors. He got the actors win at the Actors Award, but Timothée Chalamet got it for Critics' Choice and for Golden Globe. And then again, Wagner Moura won for Golden Globe as well. So I agree with you. I think probably should win is still maybe Timothée Chalamet. But I think who will win is Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah, I'm gonna double down on Michael B. Jordan. I think he should win, and I think he will win.
I think he also should win as well, but Timothée Chalamet he is Marty Supreme. It's so good.
He was my original choice, but I think the more you think about what Michael B. Jordan had to put in to both characters in that film, I think it's worth the win.
Yeah, and Sinners has been up on an upswing lately. It's very the same with One Battle After Another. So I think the tide has changed over the course of this award season. So I agree with you. I think Michael B. Jordan's going to take it.
All right, we're getting close to the end here, Matthew.
We have 3 more to go.
3 more to go. So let's move on. I think this one's you.
All right, nominees for actress in a leading role. We have Jessie Buckley in Hamnet. Rose Byrne is If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You. Kate Hudson in Song Sung Blue. Renette Resniv in Sentimental Value, and Emma Stone in Begonia. We have a clear frontrunner here. I think she should win, and she will win, and that is Jessie Buckley.
Yeah, I don't really. There's not really much to any kind of argument there. I loved Kate Hudson. I thought Rose Byrne was great. Renate Redzepi was great too. Emma Stone. I mean, she basically made the movie in Begonia. But out of everything a Hamnet, this is Jessie Buckley's time to win. Like that. Yeah, her role in Hamnet was what made the film.
And also, like, again, the other award shows don't lie. She's been sweeping in every category. This is like, out of between all the other acting categories, this is the one that's been consistent throughout.
Yeah.
And so I think she's a clear front runner. She's going to win. I will be surprised if there was one person to take it from her. Which one do you think it would be?
Maybe Rose Byrne, but that's a stretch. Like like she's a close second, but Jessie Buckley, that performance speaks for itself.
It really does. So yeah, it's hard to argue the facts and also the performance. So Jessie Buckley all the way.
All right. So now we move on to directing. We have Chloe Zhao for Hamnet, Josh Safdie for Marty Supreme, Paul Thomas Anderson for One Battle After Another, Joaquin Chier for Sentimental Value, Ryan Coogler for Sinners. For me, it's a toss-up between our two leads here, which is Paul Thomas Anderson for One Battle After Another and Ryan Coogler for Sinners.
Yeah, I believe that's the only conversation that we're really discussing here. I think Josh Safdie did a great job with Marty Supreme, and I as far as directing is concerned, I don't really see it for Sentimental Value. And Chloe Zhao, I mean, it was Hamnet was a fine movie, but that none of the conversation are surrounding any of those movies and any of those directors. So it really just comes down to One Battle After Another with Paul Thomas Anderson and Ryan Coogler and Sinners. And the edge is just going to Paul Thomas Anderson. He
Yeah.
won the Directors Guild. He won it in the Golden Globes. He won it in the Critics' Choice. Like he's been sweeping. Like there's no denying that he's been sweeping in that particular category. Which is why I said that I think Paul Thomas Anderson is going to take it for well now I'm saying it, but Paul Thomas Anderson is going to take it for directing, and then Ryan Coogler is going to take it for writing. But also Paul Thomas Anderson is also going to take it for writing because One Battle After Another is in the adapted screenplay category and Sinners is in the original.
Yeah.
But I think all signs are pointing to One Battle After Another is taking best directing. However, would be a steal if Ryan Coogler got it for Sinners.
Yeah, I want to give it to one. I'm really torn between the two because I think what Ryan Coogler did on set, and it was apparent throughout the film, is that he created such a collaborative environment
Mhm.
for all of these artists to shine, and I think that's why the movie that's why the movie did so well. So I don't know. I'm kind of leaning more towards Ryan Coogler. Here we go again, another hard one.
Yeah.
Let me
I will also say this. Paul Thomas Anderson was also nominated for 14 Oscars and has never won one. This is also his year that he has the best chance of getting it. And I do think he's going to win adapted screenplay as well. So he's going to win the Oscar there. But I think he's going to take it for directing this time as well. They're going to give him his flowers. And Paul Thomas Anderson is a little bit older than Ryan Coogler. And he's also been around the award circuit for much longer than Ryan Coogler. So I think it's kind of one of those that they're going to give his flowers to him. And that's why I'm giving him the edge.
I just hate that they do that shit because it's
Yeah.
like, yeah,
I have to take it in consideration.
You do because they've known they're known to do that. So
Yeah,
it's hard to not bring it up. So yeah, I'm kind of with you. Who I think should win? I think Ryan Coogler should win, but
Yes.
I think Paul Thomas Anderson will win.
yes, that is 100% where I'm at as well. All right, so now we're coming down to the last category, the big one, the full meal, as Ernesto says.
That's right.
This is the one for Best Picture. Nominees for Best Picture are Begonia, F1, Frankenstein, Hamnet, Marty Supreme, One Battle After Another, The Secret Agent, Sentimental Value, Sinners, and Train Dreams. And we can discuss all these movies again, but what it really comes down to are the big two. We've been talking about these two movies
Yeah.
this whole time. No offense to any other movie, but they're not in the conversation. It's the award is going to come down to One Battle After Another or Sinners, both Warner Brothers properties that they just sold their next Oscar winning, the great streak of 2025, and they sold it to Paramount. That's a conversation for another day.
Yeah.
However, these are the two front runners going into the Best Picture. Ernesto, if we were to put a third movie in there, which one do you think is the third movie that has the best chance of getting Best Picture?
Marty Supreme.
Really?
I would say Marty Supreme or Train Dreams.
Interesting. I would say based on a couple of other things, Frankenstein might have a good argument for Best Picture as well. But I can definitely see it from Marty Supreme. I think it's kind of a toss-up, but I think, like, if I were to go back to rewatch, like, Marty Supreme or Frankenstein, I'd probably pick Marty Supreme. I think it's probably a better movie in my opinion. Definitely a
Yeah,
more enjoyable movie
it's more. Yeah, it's definitely more enjoyable and more entertaining. But I've seen Frankenstein twice, and I enjoyed it both times I saw it.
both times. Yeah, I can definitely see it for Marty Supreme as, like, a good, like, surprise win there. Frankenstein, I feel a little bit more, I think, as more of a front runner there. The Secret Agent could come in there and sneakily grab it, but
No way.
I
Come on.
no,
That would be
I
a
I
fucking
don't yeah.
major upset if Secret Agent won Best Picture.
Yeah, but again, no one's really talking about it. So, like, but again, it comes down to One Battle After Another and Sinners. And based on everything that I'm seeing with, again, all the other award shows that we've been talking about, the front runner is One Battle After Another.
Ooh. See, I was gonna go Sinners, actually.
It's I don't know. I feel like the writing is on the wall there. It won Best Picture at the Golden Globes. It won Best Picture or Best Picture Drama at the Golden. No, I'm sorry. I take that back. Best Picture Drama went to Hamnet at the Golden Globes. I
Mm.
apologize. Best Picture Comedy went to One Battle After Another. At the Critics' Choice, Best Picture went to One Battle After Another. Producers Guild, One Battle After Another. Directors, One Battle After Another. Um, Cinematography, One Battle After Another. And is any overseeing all the other ones? I think, yeah, those are like the main ones that are just encompassing like film. But
Mm.
I feel like that it's been sweeping when it comes to the best picture categories and the other ones. So I feel like that is the front runner. However, Sinners could be sweeping and it could take it there as well. So very similar to directing. I think Sinners should win Best Picture.
Hmm.
However, I think One Battle After Another will win Best Picture.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I agree. I think that's how I'm gonna go to.
All right. And there you go. There you have it. Those are our predictions of the 2026 Oscars. How do you feel? The 98th Academy Awards. We did all the research. We watched all 50. We just finished this. How does it feel right now?
I'm very emotionally invested in this year's Oscars. Not that I wasn't before, but I feel more invested than I have been in previous years. I think it's
Yeah.
just that I think the fact that we have and this is a good problem to have, that we have so many great movies to talk about, to compare to each other for the Oscars. I think is why. So I'm just really excited for Sunday. I'm excited to see what what upsets we have, or if how
Yeah.
right we are. Usually we're pretty hyped up there on our predictions. So I'm
Yeah.
curious to see where we land versus what the Oscar picks.
Yeah, I agree with that. And yeah, we'll see. We'll see where we go. I'm pretty feeling confident with my choices though. Like I'm feeling really good. There will be upsets for sure. Like even if we're like I feel like if in the should and will category, we're pretty much there, somewhere around there. When it falls out of the should will is when I'm like,
It's
"What?
like, what the fuck?
What were you thinking?" To
Wrong.
everyone who you're wrong. To everyone who has stuck out with us during our award season coverage, we really do appreciate you listening to us this past month and kind of going through all the nominations, hearing our thoughts, sticking around for the Oscars predictions. Like it was a lot of work. So for those who kind of stuck around for the entirety of it, we appreciate it. And those who just want to come down to see, like, oh well, they can talk other stuff, but I'm really here for the main meal, as Ernesto said. This is where they talk about all of it. And we appreciate you listening to us too. So if you want more from us, you can always follow us on our social media channels on Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok at Box Office Bingers, our X and Letterbox page at Box Office Binger, and our Threads and Instagram page at Box Office_Bingers. The fun doesn't stop here. It continues on all of our social media channels. So be sure to give each one of those a follow. Also on that, go to our social media channel on Facebook, YouTube, probably primarily Facebook, Instagram, and Threads, where we'll be posting the winners on our social media pages there of the 98th Academy Awards, and then come back next week on our either YouTube uh, or all the other places, or Apple, wherever you listen to your podcast, you watch us, our lovely faces. And we're going to be having a bonus episode that we're just specifically
Mhm.
talking about the ceremony itself, kind of the upsets, the big wins, of the 98th Academy Awards, which ones we got right, which ones we were completely off about, which one we were just on par with. And then we'll also talk about the winners of the Razzies as well, kind of wrapping up our award season coverage. And then after the award season's over, after the Oscars have given out their awards, we're going back to our regularly scheduled program, and we got a lot of movies to talk about.
Yeah, we got a lot of shit to catch up on.
A lot of shit to catch up on. So yeah, the fun doesn't stop here. This is like kind of like an addendum to what we like to do here on Box Office Bingers, giving love to the award season and the Academy. But after that, we're going right back into the love of cinema, love of like popcorn entertainment.
Yep.
A lot of TV shows, a lot of the big blockbusters. Typically, like the what's it called? Like diving into like the Academy and the award season, kind of like this is prestige cinema,
Yeah.
more or less, right? This is what the Academy feels like. This is the ones we should be watching and being recognizing. But then it's like a good, like, okay, this is what their mood is. But then it's a nice, like, okay, we did all this work, we watched all these films, we did all the coverage, and then after that, going right back to the popcorn, baby.
Yeah. Give me the nerd shit.
give me the nerd shit. We're going back to blockbusters.
Yeah.
We're going back to Scream.
Yeah.
And Ready or Not 2 and Mario and some of the other movies that I'm forgetting right now that's going into the summer season. So yeah, it's going into that high blockbuster springtime and then right into the summer blockbuster season. And then we're gonna talk about the box office stuff.
Yep.
And who doesn't love about that? So we have a continued great cycle here in Box Office Bingers. So be sure to come back next week for more movie fun. You're not going to regret it. We appreciate each and every one of you listening to us talk about movies. And it really is appreciated. And for that, I've been your host, Matt Diaz.
And I've been Ernesto Santos. See ya.